Hello and welcome to this episode of Never Stop Learning. On today's show, we will be attempting to climb Sleeping Giant. But before that, I wanted to show the review for this hike that started our road trip.
Conditions were amazing. Myself, however, I wanted to die. The climb to the top is no joke. Very steep. It took 7 hours total, with a 30-minute break at the top. Definitely go earlier in the day, as I started at 12:15 and didn't get to my car until 7:23. I wanted to cry, which I did. I wanted to break my leg just so I wouldn't have to walk back, but rather go via helicopter or something, rather than walking myself. But instead, I endured it and got heat exhaustion. I could barely bend my legs, so never mind lifting them. I am now laying in bed writing this to tell you that I currently hate my life and have cried multiple times due to pain and exhaustion.
Here we are at the entrance to Sleeping Giant Trail. We're going to start our 8-kilometer bike to the bottom of the mountain, and then we will do our hike up. All right, wish us luck. This could be our famous last word. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya. If you are able to bring a bike, it will make this hike a lot more manageable. We biked as much as we could, but there were still a few rocky sections that made us get off and walk. Overall, they were very useful. All right, so we made it this far. They said 8 kilometers, but we were able to complete it 5.75. So we're already ahead of the game. Are you ready to continue? How do you feel? As we hiked up, it continued to get steeper and steeper. Suddenly, the trail opened up to a large meadow that was surrounded by mountains. The views were magnificent, but we were still just getting started. All right, how are you doing?
This is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. My heart rate is consistently at like 150. So I might need a rope rescue.
I'd say we're halfway. Not a good sign.
That's not comforting at all. Let the hawks take me.
After pushing ourselves to our limits, we finally made it to the top of Sleeping Giant. Anna was happy to hang out at the first lookout, but I wanted to find the infamous Top of the Giant lookout at the end of the trail, so I continued on. The top of the mesa is not well marked, but after a few wrong turns, I finally found it. Up here, there are no signs, no guardrails, just an unobstructed view of the world's biggest lake from one of the highest points in all of Ontario. At a height of 1,250 feet above Lake Superior, the lookout here is the equivalent of over 4 Statue of Liberties stacked on top of each other. The ascent is incredibly steep, and it is no walk in the park. Once you get to the top though, the views definitely make it worth the hike. If you are enjoying this video so far, then please hit the thumbs up button, as it really helps new people to find this channel. We just completed Sleeping Giant. Thumbs up, we did it. How many steps did you do?
Like 23,000. That was the hardest thing I have ever done. If anyone is thinking about doing it, just keep in mind that we got probably about 3/4 of the way up, and I just cried on the side of the mountain for probably 15 minutes. And then Chad said, keep going, you can do it. And then after a while, I got so annoyed with him not leaving that I just decided to
I wasn't leaving you behind. I was So that's it. We did it. If you enjoy hiking, I would recommend this hike. It is very difficult, but at the same time, very rewarding. When we got back to Thunder Bay and were talking to some of the locals about it, the first question they asked was, "Did you make it to the top?" We very proudly said yes. Thanks for watching this episode of Never Stop Learning and coming along with us for our road trip. The world is full of amazing places, and the question is, where are we headed next? Make sure to subscribe and join us on our next adventure.